Hi, my name's Christine and I'm married to John. We grew up in Sydney in the same suburb, not too far away from each other. Like most people of our era in the 50s and 60s, we were packed off to Sunday school, and our parents probably enjoyed the time off and the Sunday morning sleep-in while we went to Sunday school, and we grew up knowing that God loved us. That was very important. And although we both came from broken homes, we had a real family at church as well, and we were loved at home, but John didn't have a dad and I didn't have a dad for a while, and then Mum died when I was in year 11 at high school, so I went to board with a family from the church who I didn't really know, and so I did my last year of high school boarding with them.
I'm John, I'm married to Christine. Obviously, she told you that. Growing up in Sydney, went to work at 16 with the Commonwealth Bank. Was there for 23 years and grew up in an era where neither of us drank or smoked.
And how did you two meet?
We were fortunate enough to grow up when the Billy Graham Crusades were on in Sydney, and we went to a couple of times to the Crusades. We went to great youth conferences or celebrations at Bankstown Town Hall, and there would be hundreds of young people there. And we gave our lives to Christ at that time through those outreach programs. Our social life was going to all these different youth programs that were on. So gradually, when we started going together and went together, and then...
Here I was in the bank in head office, and I asked to be transferred to New Guinea because I heard that was a good spot to go. And after about 12 months, I heard nothing back from staff department, so I went and saw them, and they said, "Oh, we can't send you there because you haven't got branch experience." Beginning of the year, I was at Camperdown branch and then was transferred up here.
And we kind of looked at each other and said, "Where's Wyong?" And we decided, oh, well, we'll get married and move up here, and we've been in this area ever since.
I'm never going to go to New Guinea. That was the end of that. And so that's when we got married, came up here, and we had the 2 boys and 1 girl. Very happily, all of them married, and now we've got grandchildren. So Wyong's been very good to us. So as I said, I was in the bank 23 years, and a friend of ours said, "Oh, there's a job going at a building company, you'd be really good at it." And I wasn't even thinking of leaving the bank, but I did, and from there, I think I had about 10 jobs in the next 10 years kind of thing. And each time, I didn't know why I was going there, but the doors opened. As one door closed, somebody opened another one, and it wasn't me. I was in a job that I loved doing, and for some reason, I was put off, made redundant. I came home and I couldn't say anything. It was Bible study night. I had to wait until everyone had gone before I could tell Christine what had happened. At that time, it was a really low point. John was devastated when that happened. And we did pray about it, and we had many tears, and you think, why is God doing this to us? Everything was rosy. And it's when now you look back, and I'm sure everybody does look back at life and think, wow, we worried about that. Why did we? God has provided everything. And even now, retired, 55 years of marriage, and God still provides.
Could you tell us a bit about what a quality family looked like for you?
A sense of humour, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, we have been blessed with our children. They've been good kids, but gosh, there's been difficult times. Life isn't always easy. It's hard. It's hard going, and we always kind of feel like we're a team. And we used to say to the children, "Come on, family's a team. We've all got our place to pull and through, and you've got chores to do, and you can't go out to do your Saturday sport unless the jobs are done." And there was always grumbling or whatever, but that was the deal, that we're all part of a family team, that we work together and we look out for each other. And now they're doing the same now with our grandchildren. We often have a smile to each other when we see little things happening in the family, you think, oh wow, where did that come from?
Yeah.
I think we had family values, similar values when we were growing up. He's my best friend. Really, yeah, it's the first thing you think of when you got something happens. Oh, I must tell John about that. You know, I'll have to ring him. You know, it's just.
She doesn't tell me all the time, but most of the time. I don't think there were any challenges in our marriage because you work together. You are a team. You look after one another. And my motto's always been, forget self, think of your partner, how do you do it? So the children, your wife, your family comes first. You've always got to be looking ahead. How can I help around the house? How can I help the children to get on? And encourage. Don't yell, encourage, talk quietly all the time. I think that's the real plus of why 55 years later I haven't killed her and she hasn't killed me. Because you work together and you overcome the problems.
What does hope look like?
Well, to think about hope as far as our family's concerned, naturally when they're young, the children, you're hoping that they'll be bright enough to get through school, you're hoping they'll get a good education, behave themselves and not end up with the wrong crowd. It's that foundation you've got to give them in faith, and that they'll, you know, you're proactive in making sure that they're on the right path. You encourage them along the way. You don't want to see them going down the wrong path. But it all comes from having a firm foundation in faith when they're growing up and looking out for each other. We're a family unit.
We used to have a friend who's passed now, and his motto was, God has a plan, but I wish he would tell me today so I knew where I was going. And that's never going to happen. I hate to tell you, that's never going to happen. What happens, happens, and you've got to go with it and stay with it always. And to me, I look at it as a testing time. You know, there's God on one hand, there's Satan on the other side. They're both fighting over it. You are a popular person. Both of these people want you. Which one are you going to accept and go with? You know, and it's so easy to go to the Satan side, but it's up to you which way you want to go. So that to me is what it's all about. Something bad happens to you, you know. I've never broken a bone and I don't want to. But that's life, and you get over it. These things happen, and you've just got to get up and keep going, and that's what it's about. And you've got to do it together. Try doing it by yourself. You ain't gonna get there. No way in the world. And
this changes everything.